Okay, in this video we're going to be replacing this primer bulb, which is part of the air cleaner housing. So to start with this one, we're going to remove this thread to remove the cover. Yours may have clips or screws or some other arrangement, but just remove this outer piece. Just set that off to the side. You can see this primer bulb here is part of this whole housing. So first we want to make sure that there's nothing attached to it. Some models have various pieces attached, like this one has the cable running through here, clamped to here, just to keep it secure. So to start with, we're going to remove this. Yours may or may not have it, that's fine if it doesn't. We don't need to remove it completely, you just need to remove it enough to be able to lift up that tab and slide the cable out from underneath. We'll just set it to the back there. Now we'll turn it back over so we can get access to the front here. This model has two screws here that we're going to have to take out. This is a star pattern, or what's called a Torx bit, which looks like a star. Yours may be a Phillips head screw, nuts. There's a couple of different varieties, but basically there'll be two screws or nuts retaining this on, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of those. I'm going to use this piece in my drill. You can just get these from a hardware store, or you can get them in a screwdriver type setup. So we can just go ahead and take those out. Now they're very long because they go all the way through and hold the carburetor onto the engine, so we can just lift that off now. And you can see under here, now we've got access to the back of the primer bulb. There's two fuel lines that come into it, one from the carburetor side that comes into a short prong, I'll show you that in a minute, and the one from the fuel tank is the longer one. There's the longer prong on the back here. So to remove this one, there's a metal clip on here. I'm just going to use needle nose pliers just to pry that off. So that's removed. Before you do any of this, I highly suggest that you take a photo or a diagram or something to show you how this all goes back together, because you want these fuel lines going back on to the correct prong, the short prong or the long prong. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the other one now. And just take a note of which way these go on. If you have a look there, you can see that one is longer and one is shorter. So just make sure you get those around the right way, that's very important. So at this stage we can remove this primer bulb. There's just a couple of clips inside here. We can get a screwdriver and just pry them out. Oops, it's come away there, which is fine. We'll just throw that one away. Again, before you take it out, just note which way the long prong goes and which way the short prong goes. So I've got a new one here. I'm just going to simply push that back in. It can be quite firm, but there we go, we've pressed that back in. So at this stage, if you're going to replace your fuel lines, I'd replace your fuel lines now, but we're not going to in this occasion. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these fuel lines back on the way they were originally on there. So this long prong on this side going back down to the fuel tank, and this shorter side going to the carburetor. and just secure those with any clips that are on there. And there we go, that's replaced. So this, because we took those screws out, this carburetor is free to move, so just locate that back over the holes, and you can locate it all back together, and just insert the screws back in. You just go ahead and tighten those up. Okay, that primer bulb's been replaced now. We'll just go ahead and put this cable back on. Just slide that back under the clip. Just secure this back down with a screwdriver. Okay, so that's all back together. Now we'll put this back together. This one just waiting on an air cleaner to come, but we'll put our air filter back in there, and then we will put the cover back on. And that's it, you've replaced the primer bulb.